and let's go to the dev cost here. Yes, you see it right. Hello and welcome back to the first in a while single player campaign. But today I'm going to show you a new trend that is emerging in the most competitive multiplayer games. A lot of people, the top tier players, tested this strategy and it seems like it's becoming a new meta in the last couple of weeks. And what's that? That's the tax development meta. Remember my dev cost meta guide? I was talking to you there that tax is useless, you should burn it. Not even close. And the goal of this campaign is to prove the point that the tax in your provinces is really crucial, and that's what you should be focusing on. And to do so, to not make this job too easy, I'm going to play as Savoy. And before we start, guys, I have a Leviathan DLC giveaway for you. I'm going to give it when this DLC comes out. All you have to do is to be a subscriber of this channel, leave a like on this video, and of course, comment it. Main focus of Savoy in every game is following the mission tree, which is mainly eating vassals, eating Saluzzo, and then expanding over here in the Italy and later into France. But don't worry guys, what I'm going to focus first is of course to ally France, which will also help me with part of my mission tree. So we'll be building up the country in this region, and then one of the most important things that we're going to do is to get this, so administrative efficiency, which will of course help us in expanding and getting the new provinces to develop our tax. And later on Tech 10 we are going to form Sardinia Piedmont, which gives us even better ideas with bonuses like the dev cost and most importantly national tax modifier. Funny thing, Poland didn't take the union with Lithuania. Somebody watch a Radio's guide on that. Here we go, we have finally a situation where we can do something with our tax. So normally I would totally go for this. No, here we are going of course for the base tax in Cuneo. You see that already we are earning almost 3 ducats from it. Here we of course don't go with the old school meta of going for the mech manpower. Manpower is of course still important, but here we are going to focus on our tax, so let's take over here. I'm going to play, maybe surprisingly, maybe not, as the first ADR group. I'm not going for the diplomatic eye as I usually will do in this region. I'm not going quantity or economic as I would usually do on multiplayer game. I'm going for the innovative ideas, because as we are going to def a lot of our tax, I want to stack the innovativeness, which is going to give me all Paris cost, which in final is going to be just additional dev cost, right? Guys, these things happen very rarely. See, we can join the coalition against Milan. So I'm going here, no, join the coalition, and I'm going to declare on them with the coalition. My first perk in Age of Discovery is of course for the aggressive expansion impact. Soon I'll be finishing the integration of Genoa, and here I'll take 2 provinces from Genoa, and so far we have almost the innovativeness in this year. Second idea group that I'm going to take is quantity, because later together with economic I will of course get the dev cost policy, which will be important to develop our tax. And as I have 1000 points saved, I can right away take two very important bonuses here in the quantity. This campaign is really funny. Remember France attacking Aragon to get this? We thought that Iberia is dying, but I allied Castile and broke alliance with France because, because of the Shadow Kingdom. I stayed within the empire, but to not get severe minuses, I need to have alliance with Austria. And Austria's rival France, so I need to keep Austria and break the alliance with France. And right now we are killing France together with Castile. It's not mine war, but as we've set up our provinces of interest, I'm at least counting to get those 2 provinces. Remember, late in that mission tree you have tons of claims for the southern France. So I could count on Castile giving me those provinces in a peace deal, but you know how it is with the allies. So I have 35% of the war score by myself, with Paris especially. So I'm going to take those 2 provinces, so the 14 Lyonnais and Dauphine. This is almost no aggressive expansion in money. Most importantly, I'm going to take a lot of money from France. 765 ducats to invest into our country. Now you can see with all of the bonuses, I just got the government reform, I have the inno ideas, I have the bonuses from the estates, and see, I have these levels of advisors, which I'm paying almost nothing of them. And with my great income so far, I'm going to increase this guy to level 4 and this guy to level 3. And right now I'm paying 10 ducats for advisors, which is 413. We can slowly start deving our tax when we see that, for example, I just got the mission for Valese. So here, we don't have prosperity, but it's okay. I'm going to just get encouraged development. I have the death cost from the burghers, and it costs me 48 because it's mountains, but I'm ahead in the admin tech, so I'm just going to take this. And there it goes. We'll be going slowly increase the income from the taxation, but you can see I'm earning the same from the tax as from the trade, even though I didn't have much yet. These are the types of the events that you like. Urbanization is giving us 4 tax for just 100 ducats, so of course I'm going to take it. And we already have 110 tax of our provinces. It's going so nicely with stacking the innovativeness that it's 1507 and we have 45 of it. You see that I'm making use of my alliances with Austria and Castile, and I'm going after France, but it's starting to unite their lands. Of course they are doing this pretty bad. Brabant's got this, here we have Brittany, but we need to crush them ASAP so they won't build up a strong empire. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? 555 advisors, 15, 14, 14 mana generation in 1509, and I'm just paying 12 ducats from them. And I have 20 balance during that. We played really slowly, I think, but we already the great power, the 8th one. So I think I even kicked France out of the great powers list. So that's becoming better and better, and our income is also becoming better and better. My third idea group pick is going to be diplomatic, because first of all, I need to expand in Europe, and second of all, it will give me policy for the tax efficiency later. I guess we achieved our goal, because France is bankrupt, and during the bankruptcy, he already has another 1,000 of debt, so downfall of the empire. Just made a claim on Constance, and I declared on them only to convert them back to Catholic, and by converting them, I'm going to convert the capital as well, which is no longer a religion center. That's why I also released Geneva out of my country to do the same on them, to make them Catholic. Maybe this 20 development will be lost and I'll be having to pay later the expansion for that, but this I'll get rid of this religion center. Thanks to our stacking of all of the modifiers to the diplomatic reputation, look, we right now have 8 of it. I just managed to become the Holy Roman Emperor. No longer Austria, that's us right now. They also broke my alliance with Spain because I need those 3 provinces to form Sardinia Piedmont. And once I form it, I'm going to go back to this alliance because, as you can see, they already have my dynasty. So I'll be trying to get personal union with them. Now my main focus is going to be take care of this. So mainly keep converting all of the guys. I got into the war with Saxe-Lunenburg, so almost with the religious center, and I'll be converting them to the war. So for example, when I siege down these guys, I'll be able to just force religion and get rid of another Protestant nation. I've got even better idea, because most of the guys are around here, and these guys have some claims. I'm not only going to convert these guys, I'm also going to make them my vassal. It won't be much of the aggressive expansion, but it will help me deal with the religion situation in the north in Germany. To get rid of this center of trade, I decided that I'm just going to no-CB them to get rid of that. They are free city as well, so I had to roll-CB the ally to get them into the war, to force the legion of them to get rid of the center. So we have just this center to kill right now, and then I'll have to kill the trade center in Valois. I have to conquer this province from France and release a nation over here, then just to force religion on it, you know? That will be super hard. And in the meantime, with 40%, actually 40% of my income is already tax. It's not even production, it's not even trade. All tax. Okay, I just took this province straight from France. As you can see, it's a freaking religion center. Let's say I'll release online here, and they'll be Catholics, okay? So this, this won't do anything. And also after this war, I can finally form Sardinia Piedmont. Let's go here, click this Yes, please. And with the final boss color of the toothpaste. I freaking love it. And we have the new ID asset, which is still improve relations, but more than I had. So for example, now on this guys, I'm getting +4 yearly, even though I'm having minuses from tax expansion. I also have the idea cost. I have the more tax modifiers of 15%, so income is even better. I do have bonuses to manpower and the discipline, to dev cost and co-creation, to goods produce modifier, to aggressive expansion impact. So this is just perfect, and soon I also get this bonus to admin efficiency. This will be a long and annoying process, but we are finally gaining Imperial authority, and I can take the 30 form, which will give me state maintenance. But we also have a casus belli to force the non-members of the Holy Empire to join it, so I'm definitely going to start using that. So now I just need perpetual diet, and I'll be able to go for centralization, and see that is already increasing 0.09 monthly because we dealt a lot of things in the empire to repair it. And the next step is going to have France expand empire, Denmark expand empire, and the other countries. What the Ottomans are doing. So as I finish my economic ideas, I'm getting 20% dev cost, and another 10% is coming from the policy. I could take a policy for tax, but don't worry, my tax income is still dominant, so I don't need to use it yet. As we are getting into the Age of Absolutes, I'm minimizing privileges to just the PowerPoints to get as much absolutes as possible. Right now I have a huge dilemma on which idea sets to take. Remember that right now we have innovative, quantity, diplomatic, economic, and now I'm thinking between admin, humanist, and influence. As I'm about to go for the court and country disaster, I'm not going to take humanist yet. Something between influence and admin. We could think about religious, but this is too close to the 23rd technology. So I'm going to go for admin ideas to make our expansion even easier. To get the court and country disaster, I'll have to be at war and have at least one unrest. To reach one unrest, it won't be easy, because I need to increase that by 4, so probably what I have to do is to first decrease my stability, at least to 0, and second, we need to get a lot of overextension. Okay, actually, I can decrease my stability by no being one of the Protestant nations, just to, you know, deal with this reformation. So what about Stettin? No. Pomerania? Pomerania looks good. I'll ask Sweden to help us. That will be -1 stability. So now this is -1.3. And in the wars against the Mamluks and Mali, I'm going to get overextension. I didn't even have to get an overextension because my ruler just died. And thanks to it we have +2.4, because this woman is cruel, so that's +2. So theoretically, we could increase stability back to 0, because right now we are going to lose all of our prosperities, which is going to hurt. You see now it's loading, and it's loading 3 monthly, so faster than internal conflicts, and this will start in 3 years from now. There we go, it's even faster, 1621. I am in the state. I think I will take something for the stability of the country. So now in the next 10 years I have to finish this disaster with over 65 of the current absolutism. Finally I can take another reform, which is going to speed up our reform increase. Yes! And we're just 2 reforms short to revoke the privilege. Just to show you how strong is the tax income. Look at my development. I have just barely more tax than production, and look on the difference on this. Even though it's already 1630, so theoretically production should be way higher than my tax income. No, it's not. And trade, even though I have very strong node with everything coming here, still tax is more important. Court and country finally finished, and now thanks to it I have 110 of max absolutism. And still it can be higher because I'm lacking some of the legitimacy. I'm going to reach 100% of the crown land ownership, and I'm going to decrease it to 75% to get 25% bonus from the manpower, but that will be soon. I will show you how to do that. There's also a guide on my video from a few days ago, and I can definitely, thanks to it, take in a second this privilege. So now, this is 95.4, I'm going to seize land. This will be a little bit of the rebels from the clergy, which I will deal with. Now we have 100% of our crown land. With this, and with having 112 of max absolutism, I'm going here. I'm going to take the nobility, the plus 1 mill points. Now it's 10%, and as you can see, this is 107. For 107, I can go here and take also the bonus for the manpower. And with this, now we have 102. So it will be 105 once I reach max legitimacy. I finally managed to get rid of Spain as my rival. Remember, they have my dynasty, so I probably prefer to get them off my personal union than conquer. I just got this and this princess, those are my claims, and right now I'm improving relations to get back the royal marriage. And if you are talking about that, you see that Poland doesn't have an heir, and they have the Savoia. So what I'm going to do is to claim their throne. There we go, the reform. We just need one more to revoke the privilege, and our imperial authority is already increasing pretty quickly, so that won't be a problem. And as I did that, I'm going now to claim the throne of Poland, break our alliance, and in 5 years I'm going to get the personal union. Of course, if we won't lose the claim, but I hope that won't happen. Polish throne is ours, and you can see that I can claim the throne of Spain, and I won't even have to wait 5 years for the end of the truce because we don't have an alliance. And our truce is going to end in 3 years. That's what I was waiting for all the time, and once I finish this course, I'm going also to revoke the privilege. Okay guys, ready? From what I see, Denmark, two free cities that are Protestant are going, and Mainz, some main Protestants are going to refuse the reform. That means they break free, but that's okay, we get claims on them. So let's go for it, or should I click any from this first? Nah. Let's go for the revoke the privilege. Demand. And yes, we have Denmark, blah blah blah. You see, this guy's Austria also. I just have 3 claims on them right now. So Austria, for example, will conquer by myself. I see that Bohemia also refused to, of course, Bohemia, because they are way too big to do anything. But it's okay, this is all terrains to fit into my vassals right now. And let's see our income. It's 488, almost 200 from tax. And the player's map mode, it's looking like this. It will be even better once I get personal union in Spain. And I could also start my golden era right now, but I'm going to keep it at the end of the game when I unite HRE, and I'm going to dev all of these provinces with my admin development. Now look, basically in one war I can take whole Persia right now and pay just 280 admin points to core it. Isn't this absolutely beautiful and broken at the same time? I was actually thinking if for the matter of this challenge, do I really need to do a world conquest? And as my vassals already have a big chunk of Indonesia, I do have a big chunk of Africa, of the Middle East and of India. I'm not sure, I might just go for beautiful borders, whole new world, whole Africa, whole Europe, Middle East, India, and stop on India, or I could also go for Indonesia. I'm not sure, I think the world conquest would be easy from this point. But I'm going for a challenge, there's no need for world conquest here. So I think I'm going to just stop my conquest on India, and I'll go for all of this. And just beautiful borders and everything dev with my admin points. As we just reached 1 million, not 1 million, it's the wrong campaign, 1000 income, I can right now become the economic hegemon, which is going to give me goods produce modifier. It's not part of the goal in this campaign to get the goods produce modifier, but it's okay. And most importantly, gov capacity. because I want to core as many provinces as possible so I'll be able to dev it with my admin points. So my main focus on the last couple of decades was clearing the borders. Of course, considering the borders of my vassals as well, because it looks like this right now. I stopped expanding past India as promised. I'm not going to expand probably into Kilwa. I'm still thinking about that. Maybe I'll clear the borders there as well. Ottomans being killed, Russia is being killed, Portugal is being killed, Great Britain is being killed, so that will be a focus on the next couple of decades. And once I get most of the terrains, so probably like 1760, I'm going to start the golden era, and I'm going to integrate all of my vassals for forming the Holy Roman Empire. So we're having millions of lands to death with my tax. But what I wanted to show you most importantly right now was like I'm finishing my annexation of Spain, 99-100%, and in the next month we are going to we are going to finally finish the annexation of Spain. It took just like 20 years, 15 years. Annexation is a slow process. Of course, we took over all of the lands and all of the colonies, so we'll be even stronger fighting with Portugal and Great Britain. Of course, this looks like a disaster, but it's all our subjects. And yeah, just to show you something that will be happening even stronger later, I can dev for really cheap amount of the points over here. This province is basically all debt and I'm still sitting on the max amount of my points. I think I'm ready to get the Holy Roman Empire. The borders should be really beautiful once that happens. Let's claim the crown. We're going to keep our ideas. Let's give the game a little bit to organize. We just got some admin points for doing that. Let's see. Isn't that beautiful? What I'm going to do right now is to state all of the promises that I just got and start the golden era and keep deving for free power points, because you can see I can do that in a lot of promises and we are going to get it even better. I mean, the free is the cap, but I'll be able to dev for free in more of the promises when I start the golden era. So another thing that I'm going to do is to add all of the non-European provinces to the trade companies, because in the trade companies we also have an investment that is going to increase the tax income locally. It won't be much, but that's still something and it will be useful to maximize our tax income. Now, after stating all those provinces and adding the others to the trade companies, you can see that I'm slightly over my gov capacity, but it has literally zero matters, as stability is coming from a papal influence. I'm not expanding anymore, and now until the end of the game I'm going to sit on my ass and dev my promises with admin and other power points. And just to show you how much I'm deving already, you can see that we have 2000 dev clicks, which is 19 on average that we are deving for, and we'll check this data at the end of the campaign to compare how many dev clicks we did in the last 60 years compared to the first 300. Okay, let's get it started. I'm going to launch my golden era for the next 50 years. It is going to end in 1808, and let's go to the dev cost here. Yes, you see it right. I don't even have prosperity, so I'm doing without the prosperity, so it could be even better, especially on the bigger numbers. But guys, this is a fun campaign. We are not going to min-max everything. We could also get our trade centers to level 3 to dev the whole states even cheaper, but I'm not that much bored. I want to finish this campaign today. So see, I spent almost no provinces, and in the meantime I deved so many provinces to 21 development. These two even have 21 development already, and I still pay 3 points to developer. You can see that I'm building a bunch of state houses across the whole country, and I'm really interested how is it going to improve my gov capacity. I said we don't care that much about it, but I wanted really to test it. So it's 9.3 thousand, 8.2 decreases by 1,000. So right now I'm paying plus 35% for calling provinces instead of plus 50%. As I can unlock my last idea group. Let's click is 260 admin points. I was thinking about taking plutocratic ideas because that would give me another policies for the tax, but I have 2 policies for tax already, and I want to go for the parliament for even more tax. So instead of that, we are just going to take trade ideas to have even more income. With our amount of deving, we have completely no chance to have any state in the crown land. So what I'm going to do is to go for the parliament, not States General, go for the parliament. And now we are going to seek from the debate to get a bonus either for tax or for the dev cost. There you go, we can get another dev cost from the parliament. Oh, you can think, oh, how did it change? You didn't have that. You just have to wait a month, close the window and open it again. So let's take it, get another dev cost. And right now I have our big thought, because if I give a seat to a parliament myself, it's going to decrease my absolutism. Look, I want to give it on Vienna. So if I give it on Vienna, see, it's going to decrease my absolutism by freaking 6. This absolutism is giving me right now nothing. I'm not going to expand, I want to maximize my tax. So I'm just going to add all of the developed provinces as a seat of a parliament. Okay guys, I think that's enough for this campaign. So what we managed to get is to 9,000 income. It could be way higher if I was not lazy enough to build all the buildings. But for the tax we achieved 1.7 thousand. So it's still way less than both production and trade after all. So you can guys see that most of the video was just the April Fool's Day, because we are focusing on the tax. But what turned out from this video is that the tax is important for your income for longer than that might seems to be, because tax was the main source of my income until like 1650, so more than half the campaign, and it stopped being relevant only around 1700 when the trade and production started increasing significantly, mainly thanks to the trade companies which I got from the expansion. So that was a really nice test thing to have. You can see my development that Europe is basically one big orange island. That's all thanks to our deving. And if we go to the Skanderbeg at the end to see the data, let's go and check it. Efficiency metrics, you can see that we've dev clicked 4.2 thousand times. So we doubled our dev clicks just in the last 20 years, 25 years. That's how strong the dev cost modifiers are, and my average dev cost decreased to 12. If you go to mana usage, you can see that they generated 155,000 mana, out of which 33% was spent on deving, 23,000 on tax, 11,000 on production, 16,000 on manpower, and that's the ratio over here. My manpower wasn't that bad, we managed to get 3.5 million, even though we weren't focusing on that at all. And finally, our average development is 15 with that amount of the provinces. That's extra super. And on the map, that's the manpower map mode, and most importantly, the improvement map mode. Look at Europe. Of course, part of it is from AIs, but that's mainly us. So guys, this is all for today. Just a reminder that there's EU4 DLC giveaway. I will give you Leviathan DLC when it comes out. All you have to do is to be a subscriber of this channel, leave a like on this video, and say in comments any other crazy ideas for the series in the future.